What's going on? We back at it. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. How you doing, little lady? Come say hello to the cam. Hello. Yo, we back at it with another video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the channel. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it. The last video we just came off of was what does perseverance mean to you? Now we're really going to talk about the mindset of once you get over the hill, how do you maintain the blessing? I think this is something that is really big and passionate for me because I feel like maintaining the blessing is the hardest part about the grind, right? Now, first, I'll say this: we're all in the process of maintaining the blessing. That is the number one thing. So, right now, this is a two-way conversation. Drop in the comment section for you in your personal life of how do you maintain the blessing. And theme of this great video, I am going to pick a couple players that I feel like have done an amazing job of maintaining the blessing. We're gonna go to 14. But the first person I think of is a player that came into the league that really did an amazing job of going from someone that was in poverty, that was in Akron, Ohio, and once you hear that Akron, you know I'm talking about the boy LeBron James. Maintaining the blessing, man. I mean, once you go that high, at the end of the day, it's something that you got to be thankful for. That you get a chance to keep going, you get a chance to keep grooving. So I'm about to go pick the boy LeBron James, but let's go randos for them boys. Let's go randos. Hopefully they get a nasty throwback player. Nobody like the nasty throwback players. Wilt Chamberlain on my squad, man. Let's see who else they get. They get the Christopher Paul, Mr. Point Guard, the nickname, and we also get Mr. Vince Carter. But this passion of playing games, of mentoring, of ministry has been on my heart for a while, and I think maintaining a blessing is something I think is important to talk about. So let's say you made it to the league, right? You in the league, you have now been drafted. What now? I mean, something in your life that you have been just so excited for, and now that you get a chance to actually do it and live it out, what do? Right? You said to yourself, "I'm here. I made it." Right? I got to this destination. I got to the top. One of my favorite quotes by the poet Mr. Drizzy Drake is, "The reward for hard work is more hard work." So I think the simple fact is, if you want to maintain a blessing, you have to understand what comes with the blessing. What comes with the blessing? I don't know what that blessing is to you. Yo, he wrong for hitting me with that step back. I don't know what that blessing is for you, but I think the biggest thing about that is when you are, Stephen Nash to the cup. When you are going amongst your journey to be great, whatever that journey is, you may want to go to the league. You may want to buy a ton of real estate. You may want to be a person who, writes books. The question is how can I envision myself in that space where I think I want to be ahead of me being there, right? And so when you are trying to maintain a blessing, it's not always going to be good days. That's not always going to be the case. Sometimes the days that you don't want to go to the gym be the best days in the gym because you still got up and you still kept going. Let's go, LeBron James. Let's go, LeBron James. Took up, wing, good take. And those are the days that you do not want to go to the gym, but those are the best days. You want to know why those are the best days? Because you fought your own self. And I think it's so much of maintaining a blessing is fighting your own self. When you want to chill, when you want to kick it, when there's moments and times where you like, you know what, I don't have the energy to keep going, those are the days that you must maintain your blessing. Now you may say, okay, Zach, this kind of sounds like perseverance, like the last video. Like, should I just go watch that joint again? You should. Go ahead, stack that joint up, let it get a couple more views. But I think the biggest thing there is when you are down and out, that's when you maintain your blessing in that moment in time. You saying to yourself, okay, you know what? I don't feel like doing this. One of my homies called me the other day. He probably watching the video right now. It's my guy. He called me the other day. He was like, yo, listen, bro, I had a bad shooting day at the gym. I'm a little frustrated with myself. I've been grinding. I had a bad shooting day. My first response was next play. You got to get to the next play. Because when you're in the process of maintaining this blessing, there's going to be so many hills, there's going to be so many valleys. The question to yourself is, can you keep it going? Maintaining a blessing is giving yourself self appreciation when it's time to say, you know what, yep, I didn't do what I wanted to do today, but I have to still be a steward over what I have. It's something that I'm still learning to this day. I think one of the key things when it comes to mentorship and being able to give back to others is sometimes you just know a little bit more. Sometimes you've been down a journey where you just know a little bit more, and the chance to be able to give back. So don't silence your voice. Don't silence your voice because you don't feel like you know it all. And for your blessing, yeah, you may not be quote unquote the best at what you do or everything that you do, but your voice still matters. What you want to do still matters. Your blessing still matters. So them days where you just like, yo, man, I want to take this off. Those are the days that mean the most. Because when you can keep going on that day, oh yeah. So let's kind of get down to some tips. The first thing is track progress. How do you become great if you don't know what you're tracking towards? If you want to maintain a blessing, what does maintenance actually look like to you? For me, maintaining a blessing, this right here, the ability that I can stream right now, that's a blessing. And because of that, I want to be able to put work in every day. So one of the key things that I'm looking at is I'm not so super meticulous over the views and the analytics, because if that was the case, I'd be a little bit down and out. But I think the biggest thing for me is maintaining a blessing means, okay, am I putting in the time to make videos? Am I putting in the time to look at other folks' videos and see what are they doing to be different? And for me, it's my authenticity. Me maintaining a blessing is like, all right, look, I really just want to sit on here and play the game right now. I really don't want to make a video, but I have to maintain this blessing. That was a great pass. I have to maintain this blessing. I have to give me 1V. I have to make sure that I'm not just sitting here and being wasteful. I'm going to be real. Oh, hold on. I almost broke my mic. I'm going to be real. This past weekend, man, I was playing the game. Why wasn't I recording? You know what? I was too busy thinking to myself, you know what? Well, I'm going to do this then. I'm going to do this now. Nope. I have to maintain the blessing. That's always on my mind. I love listening to folks like Eric Thomas. I love listening to folks like Les Brown, because them folks remind you, look, man, what you got going right here, what you got going right now, this is a blessing. It don't have to be like this. It don't have to be where you have a chance to speak your voice and speak your and give game to others. No matter if it's 3 or 4 people, you gotta go hard in the basement. So when you get to the stages, you good. PG about to. I call him PG. Uh, so I think that's the biggest thing for me when it comes to maintaining a blessing is. Oh my gosh, I thought he made that. If he would have, look how crispy that pass would have been. Look at this, acting like he about to hit the fadeaway. No, sir. Oh, okay. Chris Paul said, no, thank you. That's not going to go out like that. Ooh, great dunk, my boy. So let's talk about other ways to maintain a blessing. Another way to maintain a blessing when you were kind of coming up on your journey is to lean on others. Have accountability. One thing that I've extremely benefited from was, some of my boys. My boys is if I told them like, listen, this is what I want to do, we meet with each other on what I think it's a month, bi-weekly basis, and say, yo, what's going on with you mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, all those things. And us having those conversations have helped me maintain my blessing and help me hold myself accountable to ensure that I am putting in the work. Because when I hop on that call, my boys is going to ask me like, yo, how'd the week go? How are things going? How can we be a benefit? And I don't want to show up empty handed. That has truly helped me become better at being a steward over my blessing. Um, I think when we talk about accountability, come on, Steve Nash. When we talk about accountability, it's important to find someone that you trust, and you have to lean on them. You have to lean on them. Make sure that the love language that you guys have with each other is consistent with the love language as the way you like to be held accountable. That's one of my favorite things to ask folks. How do you want to be held accountable? Because the same way for me, I played sports growing up. Everybody can't you can't just be blunt with everybody. Sometimes you gotta sometimes you're gonna have to be a little bit sweeter with your tones. And I think that may not be the way that you talk, but if you really love for somebody, that's what's gonna happen, right? You're gonna change the way you change your approach to account for your loved ones. So I think having accountability is good, right? So maintaining your blessing means bringing people around you that's in your support system. Like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a dream. It takes a village to raise a goal. It's nothing wrong with reaching out to somebody and saying that you're struggling. That's how you maintain your blessing. Another key point of maintaining your blessing: put the plan on the page. All right, what does that mean? Kevin Garnett, this guy's a dog, but Kevin Garnett putting a plan on the page. When you put your plan on the page and you say you want to do something, okay, you want to do something. If it's not written down, how do I know you really want to do it? You know what I mean? How do I know you really want to put that work in? Because now it's just a thought in your mind that's just fluctuating. I get a ton of video ideas throughout the day. There's a ton of things that, come to my mind and I say I want to do. But unless I put them in my phone, it's really just okay, this is what I want to do. And remember, you can't build a reputation off of what you are going to do. You only can build a reputation off of what you have done. So put it on a page. Plan on a page. Who is this man shooting all these threes? So, to all my folks out there, when it comes to, really holding down your blessing, ask yourself the three things, right? Do I have an accountability group? Do I have a support system that can hold me accountable when I talk about this blessing, when I talk about the work that I want to do? Because at the end of the day, it ain't nothing to it but to do it, get started. Second thing is, come on, lock them up, LJ. Ooh, all right, we're getting close. I need to stop playing. Another thing is you have to ensure uh, that you are putting your plan down on the page. Because if your plan is not down on the page, then right then it's just another thought. It's just something that you just floated into the universe. And there's so many things in your world right now that can just fling out there. But you put it on the page, you signifying to God, listen, this is what I want to do, and I want to work towards that. So let's all maintain our blessing. Let's put this work in. Just the same days you don't want to go to the gym, those are the best days in there because you're showing yourself, you're beating your will. So maintain your blessing, maintain the things that's going on in your life, and make sure that you are checking in with you. Don't let yourself down. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about your mama, your daddy. You want to buy your mama a house. You want to buy your daddy a house. You want to buy all these folks a house. The question is, what do you want to do for you? You fill your cup up, and then your blessings are going to be able to overflow. You're going to be able to give those blessings to others. You understand me? And when you can give those blessings to others, you're going to be able to show others that they can do the same thing with their blessing. You understand me? So let's ensure that our cup is running over. Let's ensure that it's running over. So, man, I love what I'm doing. I love that I'm doing this. I think that this is, such a blessing because, I get a chance to do something I love, play the game, watch my boy Wilt dominate KG in the paint, and talk to my good folks, man. It's a next play mentality. You know, we don't focus on the things, the bad days. We don't get too high. We don't get too low. That was something. Another L, but that was something that I never truly understood. Never get too high, never get too low. I would say to myself, well, why don't I want to get too high? I think getting high to yourself is like it's giving yourself an expectation that um, that sometimes lows may not come again, right? And that may not be the case. You may say, well, I never get that high. Well, that's good. So never get too high and never get too low. Never get too low for the fact that you feel like a high may never come again. So thank you so much for tuning in to this quick video. Maintain your blessing, baby. And if there was anything I forgot, anything you want to say, man, drop that in the comment section. And yeah, I lost again, but still, we out here balling. Thank you guys so much tuning in. I love y'all. Peace out.